Tonight, the U.S. stock market is put to a halt after falling 7% today. What this means for the global markets.
New York State has created its own hand sanitizer to compete with other popular brands during what seems to be a drought in sanitizer.
And Italy has officially extended its shutdown to the whole country due to the coronavirus. What are these new restrictions and how do they affect the people?
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Dan Corlett.
And I'm Lexi Bruning.
Global markets are plunging after the breakdown between an alliance of OPEC oil and Russia, causing the worst one-day crash in crude oil prices in close to 30 years. The breakdown added panic to the stock market floor, adding to the level of concern stemming from the market's reaction to the coronavirus issue. The panic began after Saudi Arabia shocked oil markets by launching a price war with Russian oil companies.
The United Kingdom is trying to retake global market share after Russia refused Friday to go along with OPEC's efforts to rescue the oil market from a plunge in demand caused by the coronavirus outbreak. The New York Stock Exchange stopped trading for 15 minutes after stocks plunged more than 7%. They withdrew some of their losses after the market reopened.
Over the weekend, 18 students who had been studying abroad are now quarantined in dorms at SUNY Brockport. Sabrina Diaz, a junior at the Fashion Institute of Technology, was studying abroad in Italy when the decision was made for her and other students to come home. Diaz says that the sudden change of plan has caused her to lose money. And she says, quote, "Not all of us are from New York. We can't pay for the dorms out of pocket. My school, FIT, we don't have dorms in Florence, so we had to get our leases. So we had to break our leases and lose our deposits."
On Friday, SUNY Oswego's provost Scott Furlong released a statement to university at large. The notice was about campus's attempts and activate a plan to prevent the spread of coronavirus on campus. Inside that notice was a section noting that the campus has no current confirmed cases of the coronavirus, but with spring break coming up, the staff should be prepared to end face-to-face meetings to keep the risk of spread at a minimum. We will keep you updated as we learn more.
Throughout the state, many communities are preparing in case the spreading coronavirus does reach them. One Westchester town has already had to react. The Scarsdale School District will be shut down from March 9th to March 18th. John Diaz has the report.
An eerie sight in Scarsdale. The parking lots of the high school, middle school, and all the elementary schools are empty. The whole district shut down.
It's scary because there are a number of people in Westchester that have been contracted.
I think it was necessary. You know, I was just listening in Italy, they were saying they wish they'd done all their closures a week early.
Last night, school officials say they shuttered their doors to disinfect buildings and stop the spread after a middle school faculty member tested positive for the coronavirus. This dad has 3 kids in the district.
We were just sort of like, oh, brother. That was our reaction. Like, oh, really? You know, but I do know that, you know, there's lots of cases in this area, and I think they're just trying to get ahead of it.
It makes sense. People need to stay safe.
Students will be out of school until March 18th, but this Scarsdale mom saying the high schoolers will still be plenty busy via the internet.
I think the teachers will be in touch soon. They're going to be giving the kids work. School from home. You know, it's 2020. It's okay.
The mayor says the school district is following protocols.
Don't panic. We have very, very good resources here. Our healthcare system in the state of New York is outstanding, second to none. We're all working very well together. And, you know, right now it's all about public safety and making sure our residents are safe and containing.
Institutions across the tri-state area are shutting down because of the virus, including New Jersey schools and some on Long Island, even colleges. Columbia University canceled classes for today and tomorrow. It will shift to remote classes for the remainder of the week after a student was exposed to the coronavirus, some saying it may be too much.
I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Right now, I think it's overreacting.
But others say it's better to be safe than sorry.
That was John Diaz with a report. For more information about the coronavirus, call the New York State Department of Health's new toll-free number at 1-888-364-3065.
As the prices of hand sanitizer continue to rise across the country, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced today the state will be providing alcohol-based hand sanitizer to New Yorkers free of charge. The product, called New York State Clean, will be made by prisoners at the Great Meadow Correctional Facility, a state maximum security prison in Washington County. According to the governor, the state will produce up to 100,000 gallons of hand sanitizer per week and will be distributed to high-risk communities.
Coffee chains are also taking precautions to slow the spread of the coronavirus and keep their customers safe by suspending the use of reusable mugs. Starbucks announced earlier this month that they would be pausing the use of personal cups and for hereware in all of their stores. 2 Dunkin' Donuts locations in Syracuse have alerted customers that they have also temporarily stopped refilling travel mugs. Several locally owned coffee shops in central New York are still allowing reusable cups at this time.
New York City billionaire and major opponent of the state's plastic bag ban, John Catsimatidis, is reportedly looking to build a paper bag factory in upstate New York. Catsimatidis sent a letter to Rob Simpson, head of Center State CEO and Economic Development and Business Group based in Syracuse, about building a potential factory in the Syracuse area. He said the new factory isn't about making money, but to, quote, bring the costs down to a reasonable number and not let people rip off the consumer and the store owners of New York.
4 of the 5 Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, and Erie, have set new water level records last month. Lake Michigan and Lake Huron both broke its February water level record by 1/2 of a foot, while Lake Superior declined 3 inches from January to February 2020. It surpassed the 1986 record by less than 1 inch. Lake Erie shattered its previous record by 5 inches, while it didn't break a record. Lake Ontario was 6 inches below its record February level.
As spring approaches on March 19th, it's time to look back at what has been an unusual winter here in Oswego. Our chief meteorologist Liam Healy tells us why we haven't seen as much snow this year compared to previous winters.
Winter may not be over yet, but just by looking around, you would think it ended weeks ago. The few signs that remain of winter slowly melted away last week as temperatures soared into the 40s. According to Dr. Scott Steiger, the local co-op observer for the National Weather Service, we've only received 49.1 inches of snow as of February 29th, an alarming 7 feet below the average snowfall for this time of year. Though it's not surprising that we've seen so little snowfall. Through the winter months, Oswego was 2.9 degrees above average. January saw the worst of the warm winter's effects at a nominal 6 degrees above average. Students either way have taken advantage of the spring-like conditions and have used the time to spend their days outside, while others are left waiting for the snow that never came, like Florida native Bruno Rojas.
I didn't see snow for the first time, actually until I came up to Oswego. It was really cool. There weren't that many lake effect events in Oswego, so you never got to really see, or even big snowstorms where you could just sit down, you know, in the snow and just kind of watch the really big snowflakes kind of fall really gracefully.
Whether you got out and enjoyed yourself during this mild winter or you were sitting there waiting for more snow, the question still remains, what caused us to have such a mild winter here in Oswego? Its answer is it's a strong Arctic oscillation that was in its positive phase. When it's in its positive phase, we oftentimes see a lot of the colder air trapped up in Canada. It's when it enters its negative phase that it starts to allow the colder air to come down into the United States. And that's what allows for those cold Oswego winters that we all know.
That was Chief Meteorologist Liam Healy reporting. While this is certainly an abnormal winter, it is part of a longer-term trend of winter warming across upstate New York.
He's such a smart man. All right, coming up later tonight, the coronavirus outbreak leads to riots at Italian prisons.
And one NBA team is taking precautions to ensure the safety of their fans.
But let's take a really quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Jessica Metzner. Jess, what's up?
What were you expecting? We had temperatures in the 60s today. That was very unseasonable considering we have temperatures in the 40s for this time of year. We are expecting some rainfall for Tuesday, which I will map out later on, and we are expected to clear out for Wednesday and get colder. Speaking of the temperatures, we had somewhere between the mid-60s and some even got near 70 in New York. For tonight, we are expecting increasing clouds, a temperature of 48 degrees, and wind from the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'll talk more about in detail where this rain and what these temperatures are doing later on after the break. Back. My name is meteorologist Jessica Messner. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News. Right now, we just have a few thickening clouds here in Oswego with some showers over Canada, but these showers are expected to come to our area. I'll be talking about more of this later. Temperature-wise, we got into the mid-60s and some places even the upper 70s, which is unseasonable for this time of year. As we can see, 71 degrees in Syracuse, 72 in Elmira, and what takes the cake is Albany with 75 degrees. We had some nice, pleasant weather for today, but these temperatures, will they stay? We'll talk about that later. For 24-hour temperature change, here in Oswego, we had temperature change of 20 degrees. So that means it was 20 degrees cooler this time yesterday. So we definitely are feeling the effects of warmer weather. That's probably because the sun was out, no clouds in the way, and it wasn't raining. For out tomorrow, rain is expected with temperatures dropping a little bit, peaking at about 52 degrees around 1 p.m. tomorrow. And as we can see, we go on to tomorrow evening, temperatures are expected to drop into the mid-40s. To map out what exactly is going on tomorrow, starting off Tuesday morning, we have a sprinkle of showers over Oswego, lots of thick clouds and temperatures in the upper 40s, some places going into 50. And as we go on into Tuesday late morning, this is where the bulk of the rain is going to start. Lots of dark green signifying moderate showers, and going on into Tuesday afternoon, we can see most of the heavier rain is here in Harrisburg and Adams, but in Oswego, we should just have moderate rainfall for Tuesday afternoon. By Tuesday evening, it's looking like it's going to clear up a bit. Temperatures starting to drop 41 degrees as compared to mid-50s. And as we go on into Wednesday morning, all of the clouds and precipitation should be clear and gone, but the temperatures are somewhere between freezing, 32 degrees. And as we go on to Wednesday afternoon, more clouds, temperatures around the same. We aren't expecting much rainfall. We are expecting for Tuesday at least a half of inch of rain, some places getting at least 1 inch of rain. For the next couple of days, Tuesday, we are expecting lots of rain, and as we go on into Wednesday and Thursday, clearing up. Friday, we may see some more rains with warming up, and for the weekend, we should clear up a little bit. Temperatures dropping. Coming up next, we have more news and sports after the break.
WTOP Nightly News. Today, Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte announced restrictions previously placed on just the northern regions of Italy will now be extended to the entire country. The restriction extends all school closings until April 3rd, and all ski resorts and pubs have been shut down as of today. Italy reported over 1,800 cases, additional to the confirmed cases already counted. The country reported a total of 9,172 cases of the coronavirus.
Another precaution taken in Italy to prevent the spread of the coronavirus led to fatal riots across the country. On Monday, the director of the Italian penitentiary system, Francesco Bassantini, announced visitors would be banned from the prisons. Riots broke out in over 30 detention centers across the country where inmates took guards hostage, lit mattresses on fire, and gathered on the roofs. 6 inmates died and up to 50 escaped. According to officials, all riots were brought under control by Sunday evening.
Canadian citizens on board the Grand Princess cruise ship will be quarantined for 2 weeks when they get back home. Officials say they'll be flown to Canadian Forces Base Trenton when they get off the ship on Monday. Canada's foreign minister says that's part of an agreement made with the United States.
This decision was made following a request from the government of the United States to repatriate foreign nationals aboard this ship, which has experienced an outbreak of COVID-19.
The coronavirus has some people worried at attending sports events on Sunday. The Sacramento Kings hosted the Toronto Raptors, and the Golden One Center took extra precautions to make the arena as safe as possible. Charmaine Nero has reports.
As Kings fans lined up outside the Golden One Center to watch the team take on the Toronto Raptors.
It's worth it to see Kyle Lowry.
The Sacramento Kings are taking on preventative measures to protect fans against the coronavirus.
It is scary. I meant to bring some gloves with me.
The organization announced Sunday all events at the Golden One Center are expected to go on as planned, but an enhanced cleaning protocol recommended by the CDC, medical experts, and the NBA will go into place.
They're going to keep the place up, you know, go that extra mile. The fans should still come out and support.
This comes after several events have been canceled in light of coronavirus concerns, including major festivals across the country. In a memo, the league also advised players to limit contact with fans and teams to identify actions required if it were to become necessary to play a game without fans.
It'd definitely be weird to play because it might help them because they can hear better, but I don't know, it'd probably be boring for them, so they might not perform as well.
This is why we're here. It's for the fans, so that's why they play.
While fans are staying prepared.
Just trying to wash my hands a lot. I have my cowbell in a bag. Trying to stay as clean as possible.
They say it's better to be safe than sorry.
I think it's a little bit overblown, but it's always good to be careful though.
The Golden One Center is now asking guests to continue washing their hands and stay home if you're feeling sick. The NBA has also released a joint statement with the MLB and MLS, as well as the NHL, banning media from team locker rooms and clubhouses for the time being. Coming up tonight after the break, Brian Rudman has our sports report.
Brian, can you give us a quick preview?
Of course, two Lakers teams got a shot at their respective conference titles this past weekend and a whole weekend of exciting NBA action. All this and more coming up shortly, but for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you to my bud and your bud, Brian Rudman. Through the next 135 days, the number of U.S. troops in Afghanistan will be reduced from 12,000 to 8,600. The decision was made by the United States. Afghanistan was not involved in this deal, but they are expected to talk to the Taliban soon. Removing troops was part of the Trump administration's peace deal with the Taliban and is the first step of the U.S. and NATO agreement to Afghanistan to remove all troops in a 14-month span.
137%. That's the approximate increase in femicide rates through Mexico in the last 5 years. Femicide is the act of killing a woman purely based on gender. It is also the cause of the protests and demonstrations raging through the city streets of Mexico that started today. The protests that kicked off yesterday, marked by International Women's Day, are an attempt to get Mexico's federal government to begin to take gender violence seriously.
Coming up, popular children's toy Barbie. She's going to celebrate her birthday today and how it started and how she's changed over the years.
We'll be right back. You're watching WTOP 10.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Brian Rudman with your Monday Night Sports Report. Starting on the ice as the men's hockey team went to Geneseo for the SUNYAC championship game and fell to the Ice Knights by a score of 4-1. The Lakers' lone goal came in the first period from senior captain Josh Zizek, who tied the game before the end of the first. Geneseo then jumped out to a 2-goal lead in the second period and never looked back. With the loss, the Lakers conclude the season at 16-10-1 and will miss the NCAA tournament. Now to the women's side, as they were also unable to take home their conference title, falling to the #1 team in the new HL, the Plattsburgh Cardinals. It was a 6-1 loss for the Lakers. They got their lone goal from Philomena Tegart to open up scoring just under 8 minutes into the game before surrendering 6 unanswered goals to the Cardinals. With the loss, the Lakers will end the season at 16-7-4, a 6-win improvement over last season. Moving now to the soccer field as the U.S. women's national team celebrated International Women's Day yesterday with a 1-0 win over Spain in the group stages of the She Believes Cup. It was all tied up in the 87th minute when Julie Ertz scored the game winner on a header off of a cross from coming in from Kristen Press. The win comes amidst frustration from the players over negotiations with the U.S. Soccer Federation over receiving equal pay as the men's team. Switching now to the NBA, as it was the Brooklyn Nets beating the Chicago Bulls 110-107 yesterday at the Barclays Center. It was a three-headed attack for the Nets as Spencer Dinwiddie led the way with 24 points. He was helped by Joe Harris and Karis LeVert, who each posted 23 points themselves. With the wins, the Nets moved to 29-34 on the year. They sit in 7th in the Eastern Conference. Now let's move across town to the Garden. Let's see how the Knicks fared against the Pistons. Starting this one off early, it's all tied up. Mitchell Robinson with the reverse value slam from Alfred Payton. Take another look. What a pass and what a finish showing off the hops and the athleticism. He do it on the other end of the court now too in the second quarter, getting up and sending it back, keeping the fans in the third row on their toes with that rejection. Move it now 30 seconds before half, and it's going to be Christian Wood with a hand in his face, no doubt about it, drains it, ties it up with 20 seconds before the half. Knicks would go into the locker room up 2 though. Now in the third, Alfred Payton getting the steal and showing off his skill up and under. Pretty finish right there. He had 16 on the day. Now later in the fourth, Pistons down 6. It's going to be Bruce Brown. Step back, 4-3, no doubt. Cuts the deficit in half. Minutes later, Knicks up 11, but Wood gets himself on the highlight reel one more time with that slam. Now the Knicks going to ice it away. Julius Randle showing off the range. He had 22 on the game, extends the lead to 12. That's the margin. They'd win by 96-84. Knicks get it done. They move to 20-44 on the season.
A very impressive turnaround for the Knicks. Also impressive, shout out to my guys in East Lansing, the Michigan State Spartans, for a three-peat on the Big Ten regular season title. Don't want to brag. Also, like you said, a good season for the Lakers on the ice.
Yeah,
let's talk about Barbie.
Yeah, in other news. So today, Barbie celebrates her 61st birthday. She looks great for 61, if I must say.
Had a little bit of work done.
A little bit. She was created by American inventor Ruth Handler in 1959 and was introduced into the Toy Hall of Fame in Rochester, New York in 1998. The classic toy has evolved many times since her release, and today she acts as a positive role model for business, science, education, and more. So happy birthday, Barbie.
An icon, truly an icon. Jess, can we talk about the sky? It was nice out today. Is that going to stick around?
Well, I think the sky has other plans.
Oh, no.
For tomorrow, we are expecting some rain, and for Wednesday, it's going to get colder, but it'll clear up. Friday, more rain, but for the weekend, we should see things clear up with temperatures somewhere in the mid-30s, you know?
I guess I do know. Stay tuned for the premiere of Bon Appetit Dorm, and tomorrow, 9:30, I shave my head on Nerd Herd. Selfless plug. I'll see you there.
Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.